The very first behavioral issue Stephen ever had in his entire life was when he got into foster care. While he was in foster care, he bit and kicked the foster parents, and they called CPS. They came and got him. He was diagnosed with ADHD, mood disorder, and put on medications. Between 6 to 8 years old, he acted out in school, threatening to kick the teacher or going to hit the teacher with a hammer, cussing at the principal of the school. My youngest son stayed with him and my mom when they got out of foster care. He was very mean to him, bullied him, and poured dirt down his throat more than one time. There was another incident when he was younger. He went to live with another family member and did okay for a minute, and then I guess he had kicked her and she sent him back to my mother. When we first started living together, Buck and my son were very close.
He was looking for a father figure. He needed guidance, and he wasn't punished very often. He would end up going on a shopping spree the same day that he got in trouble. His behavior has always been able to escalate to out of control.
One time we got into an argument. He ended up pushing me down in the hallway and walked out of the house. I had to call the police.
There's only been one instance where he blew up and kind of threatened me. We ended up in a chokehold, basically, to restrain him. He doesn't participate in school at all.
The majority of his classes were failing. They were like 30s, 40s, and we took his phone away from him and he lashed out, tore up some of my furniture.
He will tell the other kids that, we're making way too much out of it. He's not doing anything wrong. Everything is normal behavior.
Okay, clearly there's dysfunctional behavior here. Are y'all aware that Stephen says he's doing this on purpose?
No, sir, I'm not.
What he's told us is that his intention was to get put out of the house.
This is his history. If that's the case, then, I won't dispute it. But just to know that these things have been, and with no help will continue, as far as I know. So if that's the case, I hate that.
He keeps getting suspended from school and he's failing.
Right.
He smokes weed and he's trying to get the siblings to do it as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
He's breaking into bedrooms and stealing money. And you talked about him bullying his siblings, chasing them around with a belt. And then kind of the straw that broke the camel's back was waving this handgun in the siblings' faces. And he, of course, insists that the gun wasn't loaded. And we all know it's the unloaded gun that kills people, right?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I just want to take another listen to this audio of Stephen waving the loaded gun in his siblings' faces. Let's listen to what is being said.
You think that's a real bullet? You think I'm just playing with you? You think that's a real bullet? You think I'm playing? Get down! Get back! Get back! I'm about to start firing this. This gun is not on safety. This gun is where is he at? Look in that chamber. You see that bullet? Look. That's a bullet right there.
Okay, do you think was he showing a bullet in the chamber?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know that when I popped the chamber a week ago, there was a bullet that flew up out of the gun. That's what's terrifying. You expect those things from a 10-year-old and, to accidentally do something like that. Not a 16-year-old. That's just too much for me. I'll be honest with you right now, Dr. Phil, I've never seen that video until you showed it right now.
Okay, I got you.
Yep.
I got you. And
okay.
And I'm going to agree with you on one thing here, is that the trigger for this is not necessarily him wanting to move. The trigger for this is the neglect, the abuse,
Absolutely.
the abandonment that has
Absolutely.
happened to this child his entire life. Records show that he was abused, neglected, molested, everything you can possibly imagine. This child has had a childhood from hell, and now it's all coming home to roost, and everybody's going, we can't have this. Well, you know what? You wrote on the slate of who he is, and now you're reading it back. Hey, do you have a story or question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what it is. You might end up right here on the show.